This video shows how you might create a CV or resume on Mahara, what your options are for sharing it, and how to export it for taking with you to another Mahara host should you finish studying or working at UHI. When you first log into Mahara, you will need to enter content, particularly your profile and resume. Remember that information you enter within your content area is private until you place it on a page and share the page. There are always those 3 steps: entering content, placing it on a web page, sharing the page. When you do place content on a page, you are able to select which fields you wish, and you should have in mind the person you will share that page with. When you're adding education or employment history, use the Add button and remember to save. You can edit using the pencil icon, and you can change the position of items using the up and down arrows. Goals, skills, and interests are basically text boxes which you can fill in. Having entered details, the next step would be to create a new page for your CV. Select Pages from the Portfolio menu and click the Create Page button. Give the page a name, description, and tags or keywords if you wish. We're taken to the 3rd tab for adding content to the page, but I'd like to step back to the 2nd tab and change the page layout first. I need to save this. In the middle of the screen, we have a number of building blocks which you can drag down to the white area. You may not be able to see the column positions depending on your browser. I want to use the profile blocks first. There are 2, one for contact information and one for profile information. The contact information block is a subset of the profile information, so I'll skip it. The profile information block allows you to select those items you wish to show. Drag it down into the white area. When you see the hatched box, release the block. You don't need to include your mobile number, for example, and the default is not to display the profile picture or email address. The Resume tab also has 2 blocks. The first displays every field in your resume that you have completed, but it is difficult to display attractively, so I tend to use the 2nd block, which takes 1 field at a time. It's a bit more work, but it is easier to place items attractively on a page. You can just keep repeating for all the fields you want to display. You can grab each block in the header area to move it around. I'll now have a look at a completed page. If you find that your CV page is rather long, you could consider putting some of it on separate pages. When you have related pages like this, it is possible to create a collection. Select Collections from the Portfolio menu and click the New Collection button. You would give your collection a name and description. At the next step, select those pages you wish to include. You need to click the Add Pages button so that they are listed at the top. You can use the up and down arrows to reposition them. When you view your collection, you'll see that you have a tabbed navigation at the top. The next step is giving people access to your CV, and this is done by selecting Shared by Me from the portfolio menu. If you wish to email a link to a person out with UHI, you would use the Secret URL button. This gives a link which is obscure and which would only be reached by a person who is given the URL, by email for example. The other option is to use the Edit Access button and to select users or groups of users. If you choose the first button, Public, your CV will be on the internet and searchable. Logged in users means public within UHI, and friends means all of your friends. You can also share with a single group or with all of your groups. If you wish to share with one or two individuals, expand the link Share with other users and groups. The default is to search among your friends, so you may wish to change this to users. When you have found the correct person, just click the Add button beside the name. You can continue searching for other individuals and adding them. You can change the access date or time if you wish. You may also wish to look at advanced options and decide whether to allow comments or not, or to moderate comments. When you save this, the person will receive an email with a link to the collection. If you wish to have a backup copy of your CV, you can select Export from the portfolio menu. Choosing the Leap2A format will give you a zip file which you can import into another ePortfolio system which is Leap2A compliant. When this is done, a new account is created, so you would probably wish to export all of your data if choosing this option. There is the file in the Downloads folder. The Leap2A export is not a file that you can unzip and understand yourself. It's for use for importing into another ePortfolio system. The option to export as a standalone website is quite useful. It is possible to select a single page or collection. If I go to Windows Explorer and have a look at the second file that I've downloaded, which is the standalone website, this file you can right-click and choose Extract All from the menu. The files are extracted into a separate folder, and when you open that folder, you can double-click the index.html file, and you have a website with working links. If I switch back to my Downloads folder, this is the file that is worth putting on a pen drive or a CD drive and taking with you, so that you have a copy of these pages.